Hello everyone, I'm your host today, Keira McKay, and with me is Jeff Desender from Frozen Fire Studios. You can give us a little introduction.
Hey everyone.
And so Jeff's been here a lot apparently, and I'm the summer student trying to pull people in, and I saw the other day, when did I contact you? It was early this week, Monday maybe, that they have been nominated. Is it just you and Frozen Fire? Assuming you're a group of people?
Well, it's actually owned by me, and then there's several casual engineers.
Okay.
So rather they're in the studio or they're live, where basically we can work both sides of the spectrum, right? And then when it comes to digital design or the mental health initiative, stuff like that, that's a lot more me. Yeah. It requires more time and more input, right?
Yeah. And so I saw that you were nominated, and that was for Studio of the Year and Engineer of the Year.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, this would be a great topic. So here we are today. And you said this was your third time being nominated?
With Manitoba Loud Music Awards, yes, actually. We were nominated twice for Studio of the Year in 22 and 23. And then now this year is the Studio of the Year nomination again. And then I personally got nominated for Engineer of the Year.
And that was the first.
And that was the first that nominated for that one. So kind of riding high on that one.
That sounds fun. And I am not very familiar with the Manitoba Loud Music Awards. What is it generally? What's it for?
It is for what a lot of us musicians like to deem as an underappreciated genre. So then it focuses more on rock and down into death metal and all the heavier music that doesn't get the appreciation that it deserves for its creativity, right? And that's really what the founder of it was focused on. He wants to bring the light to all those hard-working musicians and people behind the scenes working with those bands to be able to, showcase that they are here, they are a genre, they are equally important as someone in country or pop or R&B, right?
Yeah, and do you feel well, I guess that's already in its goal, but do you really feel that rock and heavy metal, especially in Manitoba, is a lot more underappreciated than country, per se?
I would say country in Manitoba seems to be the top percentage. But I mean, a lot of those country folk, you go and you turn on, Foreigner, Def Leppard, or even go to Metallica or Motley Crue, things like that. You turn that on, and I'm going to say probably 8 out of 10 people, they're going to be singing along or they're going to be dancing to it, right? It's just known fact.
Yeah, and so they have you on for Studio of the Year. Does your studio focus a lot on rock, death metal, these genres?
We actually work with country, a few folk artists. We've worked with rock, we work with metal, alternative rock, the odd R&B, rap kind of genres there too. So we kind of work across the board. We kind of stay away from what they call EDM.
Yeah.
Right? We kind of avoid that because that's a lot of digitalized stuff, right? So then it's very time consuming, and just a lot of the time we believe a musician is trying to tell a story through their instrumentals. So that when it gets to someone else digitalizing it, it's very likely you're going to miss the point of what the original writer was going for, right?
Yeah, I'm not so big on EDM. I'm more of an indie person.
Okay.
I also like alternative rock, a lot of that too. And have you heard have you watched what was that show that just came out, the new Superman? Well, I don't know how that's relevant right now. I don't know. I just like their playlist. I think it's a little.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard a couple times that the playlist in
it's great.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
great.
nice.
I don't know if you like James Gunn, but I love his movies.
Yeah, no, he's pretty good. Yeah.
And I also want to touch up on you being nominated for the Engineer of the Year award. Kind of, what does that entail?
Just basically guy that works aboard.
Yeah, that works aboard. It's
right?
on the music, or just generally.
Basically, you set up the stage, the band plugs in, and as the band starts playing, you're controlling what the crowd is getting for their sound. Right?
Oh yeah.
So.
Because I do remember usually I was taught a little bit in school. We have a board. There are a bunch of, I can't even explain. I forgot what they all are, but we have so many options for how the things are going to sound.
Yep.
Yeah, all of that. Okay.
And that's essentially, that's
Yeah.
an engineer, audio engineer. We're not doing anything with video. Your side would be
Yeah.
more like a video engineer,
Yeah.
right? Part of your videography.
Yeah. I think music's really fun too. I would, be interested in getting into that at some point. So that's cool. What are some like goals of Frozen Fire Studios?
That's always a hard question because I know when I started Frozen Fire years ago, the one goal I had in mind is I wanted to be kind of that open-minded, love everyone and love what you do kind of studio. So you were never a client, you were a family member, right? And I ran with that for years, and I still do. I still currently do. And that was my only goal I had set. And then next thing you know, we've kind of blown up, right? Like we're known all over Manitoba. I've done work for artists in the States. We've got several award nominations nationally and provincially. So I think like our biggest goal now is hopefully we can expand and just bring that experience that everyone is showcasing that they love and bring it to more people in different communities, right?
So like starting with a good, genuine reason, and it still stays that way. That's good. I thought you were gonna be like, oh no, we got like really upset and things went south, but here we are.
No. Anyone who knows me will openly tell you I'm about as genuine as it gets. I tell it as it is, and I think a lot of people have learned to appreciate that. Like, I mean, there is the odd one that doesn't like brutal honesty, but I mean, at the end of the day, right, would you rather someone be honest or just drag you along and take money out of your pocket, right?
Yeah.
Whereas we're not about that. We do it for the love of the music, the love of the craft, and that's all we've ever done it for.
Yeah.
The money is something you deal with later, if you get to be part of helping a musician tell their story, why would you not do it?
Yeah. I think
Right.
something shared along artists is, that need for people to really appreciate the craft. And like, cause I'm also more of a like digital artist, that kind of stuff. I like to do graphics, I like to paint. And I see some people talk about how, even with your clients, you have to like tell them like, are you making this decision based on your personal interest? Is this really what's needed? Is this really what's for the craft, or is it just you feel that way? That kind of thing. And I guess that's something you tackle with a lot with your clients too.
Well, yeah, like very much of like, what emotion are you trying to portray here? Because if you're going to play this high note in this spot, that sounds a little too bright. If you're going for kind of that melodramatic tone, right? This kind of throws your whole mix off, right? So then we have to try to help them bring that back to the rest of the mix, so it expresses what their raw emotion is when they wrote the track, right?
Have there been any clients that were really hard to, explain these things to?
There normally is. Like you get your newer musicians and stuff that, they're learning the ropes, and they're very good with their instruments and what they do behind the microphone, but anything that comes past the microphone is where they need assistance, right? Where it may sound, just because it sounds great live, there's a whole lot more to the studio side than there is to the live side, right? Yeah. So then with that, it's just them having to transition to those changes. And that's where guys that love the craft, like me and a couple other studios that are in Manitoba here, that I personally know, that is what we're about. We try to make sure that they're going to understand. We don't get mad. We're not impatient with it. We're not anything like that, right? It's we all started somewhere once. Yeah. We all had the same questions and had to be led down that path, right? So if you have someone that can do that early on in your career, why not take the chance at it, right?
Yeah. And what are some like future plans you're currently into? Like what are you currently working on that you can share with us?
Currently, right now, actually, we are working on building a bigger and better sober social. And yeah, we're gonna keep it local at home for those that know what it is. From there, we're actually a little bit of a teaser. We're actually looking at, between myself and a few other music industry friends, we're looking at potentially bringing a festival to Nipwa. Because a lot of us, we remember the Lily Festival. I don't know if you were around
I was talking about it with Rain recently. I was like, I heard of it. Why did it disappear?
And I mean, I get it. It's hard with sponsors, and I mean, with the way the economy and society is right now, I get why there's not a lot of sponsors. I fully understand it, right? Especially being a business owner.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you have the right thing for the right reasons, a lot of people will invest. And I mean, rather it's $20, it's still them going like, hey, this is my hard-earned money. I want to be a part of this, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's, most places here, they'll always sponsor you if they can,
Yeah.
right? If the cause is there. And I mean, music festival is one thing. I've sat back and like a lot of the business owners now are friends, or I have some relation to them in one way or another, like an acquaintance or whatever, right? Because it's kind of my generation that has now taken over for the parents,
Yeah.
right? So then with that, it's not as hard to approach people with these things, and we grew up with that Lily Festival here. So then when you get in conversations and stuff like that, it's always like, we need something with music, because they used to have a beautiful setup right on Hamilton Street, and there'd be vendors galore, food trucks galore. They had a beer gardens. There was live bands playing at all times, and it lit up Neepawa, right? And we'd have people from far and wide coming here specifically for that festival. So then a couple industry buddies and I sat down, and we're kind of like, is this something we could bring here? Like the newer age, they want kind of that mixture of country up to metal, right? Because there is some people here that love their metal music, right? So then we're trying to figure out how can you structure that throughout a day and give everyone ample time so they can be seen, they can be heard, they can do what they want to do, and doesn't interfere with anything else going on. There's a lot of variables in it, but it's one thing that I'm quite honestly like excited once it kind of comes to.
I think it would be pretty successful, and you know, I think Neepawa needs something like what Lilyfest was. I mean, I haven't seen it, but like I do think, you know, Neepawa needs something for everyone, because like we do have like a whole Filipino heritage going on, and that's successful. And seeing that successful, I think other things can be too, and especially one that's for everyone here, right? So I think if you did a music festival, that would be great.
Well, that's just it.
See it too, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like you've got things like Kaleidoscope here. If you've ever heard of them, they have like, I think it's Manitoba country music artists and a bunch of other like Manitoba-based artists that they'll come in and they'll put on a show at like the Roxy Theatre or Arts Forward. Arts Forward normally tries to do what they can for the arts in the community, right? Just like the rest of us. And from there, like there's always tons of people trying to bring this stuff in, and then you just got to get the right ones in your corner, right? And then it always comes to fruition. I know like Riverbend Market, the odd time, I had 4 or 5 bands play there one year on the stage, and then we had an acoustic act this year. Actually, one of the guitar players out of my band, he came and played some cover songs and stuff. Then we've tried to help like Neepawa Tourism and that kind of promote that stage that's down at the flats for like busking and people to put on shows and whatever else down there, right? Because that's essentially what it was put there for, right? Just people to kind of have that outdoor stage if they wanted it. And there's tons of things going on in Neepawa that kind of I think could use a lot of promotion and everything else, right?
I hope that'll happen. I hope someone makes it happen. I'm trying to make things happen, you know. I think being in NACTV really gives me, you know, a little place that I can do something. I could put people out there and be like, hey, someone's doing this. So, you know, hopefully we get that. And I think busking is a cool idea. I used to busk in the Philippines, and it's fun. Yeah, I was more of a cosplay busker than a performer or singing performance busker. So I think if we had the flats for that, would be really great. I mean, it's already there, so, you know, if you want to go do something, you totally should. You know, it's fun. Coming from personal experience, busking's really fun. As long as we get people, too, going out to watch them, right? Because then if you're just kind of by yourself, it's not as fun. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of businesses, too, uptown that they would let you busk in front of their store.
Yeah.
I mean, within reason, if you're going to come up there and it's, you know, like nails on a chalkboard or something. I mean, at that point they may or may not, right? But they'll always support you. And like a lot of us locals here, that's what it's about, right? Like we want to help build everybody up and we want to see everyone succeed. And it's never for a personal gain or anything like that. There's no hidden agenda. It's
Yeah.
we just love our community and we want to see it flourish in
Yeah.
whatever avenues come its way, right?
Yeah. Has there been anything like challenging lately for you and for Frozen Fire Studios?
I think the most challenging thing was the shutdowns due to the pandemic. Aside from that, not really.
Not really.
No, I'm normally kept pretty busy because, like I said, on the tourism board and stuff here as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, between that and then family life and business and and I'm a pretty busy guy. So, to me, I haven't noticed any declines in anything like that. I mean, you do see a lot of, I guess, live music. If I had to call out on anything, would probably be since the pandemic, live music has taken a huge drop in the amount of shows going on, everything else, right? And it's slowly starting to climb back up now, but I mean, there used to be a show every single night of the week before the pandemic, and now you're probably 3, 4 out of 7 days, if that.
Yeah. I also think if Brews had like someone performing every now and then over there, live music would be really
Yes.
nice. Because like in Brandon, they have, Shay Angela?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they always have performers over there, and it's great.
Club 1202
Yeah.
does Saturday nights with performers. I'm trying to think of any of the other little ones that do. No, I think that's about it. Shay Angela's and yeah, Club 1202.
Yeah. So if we had one here, that would be nice. Well, I guess I could make that personal suggestion if I knew some artists around here, or personally. I mean, you probably know some.
Oh yeah, yeah,
or
I know.
more, a lot actually.
Yeah, I know a lot from here, the area, Brandon, and pretty much all over West, man. Yeah,
And circling back to the Manitoba Loud Music Awards,
absolutely.
voting starts August 1, which is tomorrow, and probably past that once this is airing. How can we vote for you? Assuming we can vote, right?
Yeah, you would actually go to Manitoba Loud. I think it's manitobaloudawards.com/vote, I believe it is. And then you would go there and then you would just work through the prompts. And then you'll see me personally there for Engineer of the Year, and then Frozen Fire will be there for Studio of the Year, and you just vote for whoever you think is a good fit.
And there you have it, folks. That should be pretty simple. Yeah. And do you have any final messages for anyone or for our viewers?
No, not really. Feel free. You want to chit chat about what we do, or just want to chit chat in general? I'm a pretty chatty individual. Feel free to hop on our Facebook or Instagram page, or if you see the big black diesel rolling around, my number's plastered everywhere on it. Feel free to text it.
All right. And thanks for coming along and watching our show. We'll see you again next time. Bye.